yesterday in my life because my son toppled it.
Yeah. Oh
Right,
my
and now
gosh.
we are live, and we're just going to let the
Awesome.
Facebook load, Rosa.
Okay.
And I'm getting better at tech stuff, and still it's going to take
Yes. Oh my
years.
God.
And here we go. We've done it very quickly. I've figured out
Awesome.
now not to echo when Facebook loads up. Lucy is waiting. Already, I'm getting her messages up. So you're here. Good evening, everybody. Yes, I think all your moms must be wondering. She has a workshop at 6, and we have an interview going on. What's happening? But that workshop will
Yes.
also happen. This will also happen. We have 25 more months in the next, I think, 18 days to finish. So nothing should stop. Everything will go on. We have a beautiful mom who's also expecting. She already has two boys, and now she is expecting her third one in December. So, of course, we
Yes.
need to have one pregnant mom in the book as well. So, I'm glad we caught hold of Nat after she had her child.
After, yeah.
We get some pictures of pregnant moms as well in her story. Rosa, welcome. This is beautiful, and thanks Lucy for introducing Rosa. I think I've laughed the maximum with Rosa. I don't know why I like cracking jokes with her already. Don't know her enough, but I think your laughter is very infectious, Rosa. So I love laughing with you, and
Yes.
thanks for making me laugh or laughing at my silly jokes. I'm really not. I don't have a good sense of humor, but if you can laugh at it, it's great.
Yeah, I guess we have a similar sense of humor.
That's why we understand each other, probably. Um,
Yes.
go ahead, Rosa, introduce yourself because the mother who lives her story tells her story the best. Let's hear Rosa's story till here and introduce you to the world and welcome to the book.
Thank you, Sheik. I really appreciate you having me. I appreciate Lucy for, giving me, introducing me to you, and you for giving me the opportunity, to
Absolutely.
share
You
my
deserve to
story
be
with you.
here. The universe is
Uh,
kind to you, so you deserve to be here. Absolutely.
yes, and I think the reason why we connect so well is because we both have something in common. We have the two boys,
Yes.
and obviously motherhood just connects us all with all of the things, all of the good and the struggles and everything that we go through as
Absolutely.
moms. But my story kind started back in 2014 when my dad actually passed away, and that was one of the things. He had cancer. That was one of the things that actually shook me. A lot of times you hear the people's stories, and it's like when the story kind of like takes a twist is when
Right.
something happens that
Right.
shakes them, right?
Right. Right.
So and that happens a lot. So that was the time that I was just like, kind of questioning, like, what's my purpose? What am I going to do with my life? I had been in corporate America. I became an accountant, at back in 2007, and I had been working in like corporate America, corporate jobs, and I was just going with the flow, like on automatic, not understanding really what my purpose was or what my power was. And then at that time I really started to question myself and question, like, what is this whole thing about? Like, what am I gonna do? I started to like tap into, myself, and just start, like questioning and being in silence, and kind of like trying to answer those questions.
Right.
So it took me a little while, and I think through those, a couple years, it was just like me um, feeling all of the things, but at the same time, it was really painful. And I had tried to like kind of, I never really wanted to process the feelings, so I held on. And I was just like the type of person that it was just like, I'm strong, like I can do this. I don't need anybody to help me. I can get through this. But I was really in a dark place, and I was just like trying to find the answers, but didn't want to process the feelings at the same time.
Right.
So I was like, I became really depressed. It was just like something. I was drinking alcohol, drinking wine whenever I felt sad, and avoiding like all of the feelings. So I would come home from work and I would be like, oh, I feel really sad, then I'll just grab a glass of wine. I feel better now, you know.
Right,
So then,
right,
so then so then in 2016, I felt like I was at my lowest, and I created. I started going online, and I created my company called She Who Rises. Well,
right.
it was yeah, so I had fallen, so I wanted to get back up, and that was the message behind that.
Right,
So I started just sharing things on Instagram, just like finding things that would inspire me
right,
and then sharing them with others. And and then I just started attracting people, like a lot of moms, a lot of women who had been through like struggles that I had been through, and just telling my story.
right,
And from that, like I started growing, and I was like, oh, maybe this can turn into something else. And over the next few years, I started finding mentors and people that were guiding me. I didn't really know, I had no idea what to make it into. And then I found like the KBB group, Tony and Dean. I I immediately, when I saw that, I was just like, oh, that's my thing. That's what I have to do. I can put all of this that I've been thinking about into something. Yes. So then, like I joined that, found like a really great community there. And it was just like one thing led to another, to another person. I found my coach in there. It was just like, now I'm like clear on what I have to do and what I want to do, and and because I have like clarity and vision, I'm just like, okay, I know what I have to do. And even if like sometimes in the beginning you feel like things are quiet, like you're the only one showing up, you're in this space, and you show up live, or you do an interview or things like that, and you just like, how, like, people, how many people have watched this, or like, who is liking my post, who is commenting. And I feel like that, like getting past that and knowing that you're showing up first for yourself,
absolutely.
and and then for everyone else that comes and happens to see what you're sharing, right? So that was so so all of that. And with my boys, I had a 9-year-old, I have a 9-year-old, and then I have a 2-year-old. So
Like our boys are almost the same age. I have an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old. So our both are
yeah.
almost the same age.
Yes. So the first one, thankfully, is able to take care of himself and help out.
Yeah.
Thank God. And now I have the little one coming, and then I have the 2-year-old. So I'm like, okay, how is that gonna happen? How is he gonna feel, and all of those things that you have to
I
figure out.
think,
But you just
yeah, you'll figure.
it
I think mothers, no matter how many children they figure it out. They all figure it out.
yes,
To go back, while you were talking about the fact that I was not processing my feelings, etc., etc. We all feel that,
yeah,
but a lot of
yeah,
times, even if I feel that we feel them, but it's
yeah,
very difficult to ask for help. That's the problem. Also, a lot of times we know that we are going through
yes,
so much problem, and just to ask for help, to say,
yeah,
very long time back, Rosa, I also understood that, you know, like for me, giving is a very easy thing. Like people can
mm-hmm.
think that I don't know why
Oh,
do you give, why do you just like, I don't know. It's the most easiest thing for me. Not that I'm some great person. It's a very easy thing for me. Receiving was a very difficult thing. Receiving was a
yes,
problem, and that the help is also receiving. Gifts also are receiving, and you sometimes felt that, like of course I have done a lot of self work, and uh, how the Buddhist monks, when they receive with they bend down, and then they receive with as much humility as possible, as much as they can
yeah,
give. Yes,
Yes.
of course, they give a lot of spirituality to the world, but when they move out, they also receive. The
Yes.
whole practice is also going and asking for food because it's about receiving. And of course, on my way in this journey, I understood that receiving is also equally important. And a lot of times we don't ask for help because we feel that we can figure it out, and as you mentioned, and we feel we can manage it. But that itself comes out of ego. It comes out of a lot of ego because we think we are very great, and others need us, but we don't need anyone. And when
Yep.
we resolve that, and there are times when you need, you have to open your arms like this and say, I
Yes.
need it. And
Yes.
that's even more difficult than giving. That's even more difficult than, and people can think it's easy, but to just open your arm and say, Rosa, I need help, just like this,
Yes.
like the Buddhists do. I need food. This opening up of the arm is a problem, and I want to put this message out there because I did this journey of resolving it. That when you receive it, you you should like you should receive it without any ego. You don't
Yeah.
become a smaller person, and that could be help in terms of emotional health, that could be help in terms of whatever. And this whole project, I am receiving a lot,
Yeah.
whenever, like, there are pillars here, there's Lucy here, there are my editing team here. When they give, I just open my arm and say, yes, I need help,
Yes.
I can't do
Yes.
this alone. And that's why this project is also multiplying, because there is no ego. When I receive it, I'm like, yes, I don't know how to do good spellings. Of
I'll
course
take
I
it.
need an editor.
Right.
Of course I need editors. I'm going to be a foolish person saying, no, it's all my project and I don't need editors to do anything.
And I can do everything
Yeah,
right
and
by
of
myself.
course I need help because there are 100 moms. Of course I need help to do it. Of course I'm having sleepless nights with my child, and of course I need some smiles and some pat in the back, even if it's virtual, saying that, Chika, it's okay, even if you're coughing, there's cold coming, we can see you
Yes.
suffering. So that's what I realized, and it came to my mind because I resolved it as well. I had a problem in receiving one point in time. So
Yes.
going back to She Who Rises, did you think you were rising after you started receiving, or um, it's still a problem? I'm just
Yeah, you know what? In terms of receiving, I think that is has always been something that the same for, same like you just said, is uncomfortable. So there are some things that I think I'll be working on for a while, because I'm working on being able to accept the help, being able to ask for help. I'm working on that. But these are things that I've been like I've been used to doing that. I've been used to giving for so long. It's like a natural thing, right?
like me.
um exactly. So it feels uncomfortable to do the receiving. It feels uncomfortable, but it has to be a balance.
Right.
So one of the things that I think is also related to that is having boundaries. So knowing that, like having boundaries with yourself, even with your children, something that is just like, very important. I've never had clear boundaries with my family.
Right.
And now during this time, I'm learning how to put boundaries and be clear on my boundaries and express them and be okay with that. And also, like learn that when I need the help, that I can ask for it,
Right.
and that it's okay.
Okay.
And that, like you said, it takes like humility from
Okay.
yourself, because you have to like make yourself uncomfortable and say, yes, it's true, I do need the help. I am human, I am a mom, and I'm still great. And being able to like congratulate myself or make myself feel good when I do these things, when I put a boundary there, even the smallest boundary, that I make clear with my mom or with my partner. I immediately after, if I'm aware, if I'm awake, right, I can say, you know what, that is what keeps me going, what keeps me building and learning more how to build my boundaries is being able to recognize that I did that. And then I go back and say, you know what? I did that. Let me pat myself in the back. Like you said, allow other people to pat my back, but
Yeah.
also me recognizing, oh, that was good. I did that. So that, like that positive reinforcement
Yeah.
is one of the things that like keeps me like moving and growing.
Right.
Because if I don't recognize the things that I'm actually doing right, then I'm not going to be able to grow. So
Yeah.
yes, at that point was like really and we're all like a work in progress, obviously. But looking back, and I'm just like, wow, the things that I did, I wasn't even scratching the surface at the time. But I had the right idea. Like I found like gratitude, and that gratitude was just like something that people always talk about gratitude, and I would be like, okay, gratitude, I'm thankful, but it wasn't that. It wasn't just saying thank you. And I found that deep connection with gratitude that gave me so much power,
Yeah.
and kind of like woke me up to this new world of like, wow, it's energy, really.
Wow.
It felt super powerful to feel, to feel the gratitude in deep inside of my core, and be able to let it drive me on a day to day. And that like took me out, literally pulled me out of like the dark hole that I was. That's, I think, the real reason why I was able to rise, because of that. So
No, it takes courage. It takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable. It takes courage to ask for help. It takes courage to receive. Because when we are growing up, actually, we grow up with the opposite notion. If you're a giver,
yeah.
you're a better person. If you're stronger, you're a better person. If you keep
Yes.
giving, you're a better person. No matter what's
Yes.
happened, be strong. You should be grateful. Like, again, even the grateful is used in an opposite way when we're growing up by our parents saying, oh, if you should be grateful because see what's happening to the world. If you're eating
Yeah.
one
Right.
bite of in our case chapati, which is a bread, they will say, okay, don't even leave one bite, you should be grateful because there are people who
Yeah.
are going hungry. I think this goes across the world, and this is
Hmm.
generations people have been saying this. So when we grow up,
Yeah.
we feel guilty if we think about self, like any kind of self love. We feel
Yeah.
guilty if we need something. We feel guilty if we ask for help. But
Yeah.
everything else is okay. Like everything else, you're absolutely fine. Or we judge people who are taking care of themselves. We judge people who say we need help. We judge people who say we have boundaries. Do not step it. I'm not
Yeah.
coming. I'm not doing, because then we judge
Yep.
them and we say, and the mothers go through that. Mothers go through that,
Yes.
pass it like a gift to the next generation. So it's very interesting because the way you laugh, Rosa, your laughter is very, very real. You laugh full heartedly, and you know that's it's not a rarity, but a lot of us have forgotten how to laugh like that. Honestly, I'm definitely one of
Yeah.
them. Like I laugh, I try to like be light at it, but just wholeheartedly ha ha ha. It's like I don't know when I did that last, because I'm like, I look at a movie and I'm like, yeah, it's funny, and I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Where is it got lost? And then
Yeah.
I'm looking at people around me laughing, and I'm like, I can't even laugh like them. And
Yeah.
my son has got it from me. He tries to laugh, but I always tell him, I said, where is that like, where is that laughter? Because probably he's copying me or he's learning from me or whatever.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel that you can laugh wholeheartedly, like my father does. Like you can laugh so loudly that you're literally embarrassed, because I tell him, Dad, you laugh really loudly, like the whole world is watching you right now. And
Yeah.
that happens when the core is absolutely sorted and you can feel it. And when you cry, my dad can cry on emotional movies like that. So when you can cry and when you can laugh is when you've actually risen. And then, like She Who Rises, I feel the one who would have reached on the top would laugh, would cry, would feel every emotion to its fullest
Yes. Yes.
without anything. And that's the beautiful part about you, Rosa. Like I see that and I feel that since I've spoken to you. I feel, this is amazing. I could like whatever I was telling you, and I was laughing and you were laughing, and I'm like, okay, this is the only
Yeah.
mother who's laughing at what I'm saying right now. Like she's finding my situation funny about my children, about
Yes.
whatever.
About the
And
craziness.
yes, and when we can laugh, we've sorted a lot. And even gratitude that you were talking about, reaching that place
Yeah.
of gratitude without feeling that we must be grateful, that must be should be removed, right? It should not be
Right.
that we should be grateful, we have to be grateful. Look at, and then in comparison, being grateful. They don't have,
Yeah.
you have, so be grateful. Rather than just
Yes.
grateful, and to find that gratitude is also difficult. And you found it. And when you said to find it in the core and feel it is, I mean, my life has changed. And I think that's what the world is talking about when they say about gratitude, and not say in
Yeah.
comparison to this feel grateful, right?
Yes.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. The I think that, when people hear it, it's not as clear, like you feel like you said that you have to be thankful for, you have to be thankful, like you have to say thank you. But
yes,
it's not really just the word. It's like it's a feeling, it's really powerful. It's really powerful.
stuff. This is stuff. I need this. Like this is stuff. And it comes from okay. There's a poem and all this stuff. Before that, I want to just like say hello to my moms here who are here. Cynthia is saying good morning.
Hi,
How are you,
mom.
my dear friend Cynthia? I really love you. I know you had a little hard time, but we are with you, and I'm just a call away. Lucy is here. Of course, she was very excited, and Francis is here. So Lucy is saying when Rosa is expecting a beautiful child, I believe she is due soon. I'm just wondering what that must feel like, as I never had any children. Oh, Lucy, can I just like answer that question to Lucy right now? Lucy, the way, like, I don't know how many people you have supported the way you support me. You don't have to have children. My God, Lucy, I'd rather have you as my mom. I would love you to be my bonus mom. Right? I would love
Yes.
you. And I told this to Jay, who's a weightlifting mom, because she was so like solid. And Lucy, oh, absolutely, I feel such a motherly instinct in you. But the good part about Lucy pointing that you are due anytime, Rosa, is that
Yes.
probably out of the 100 moms, that baby would be welcome when the book is coming into this world. So the book and the
Yes,
baby
that's right.
come together, or they would be 1 month apart. But we will be celebrating the 100 moms and that baby, and you'll be the only mom
And the
probably.
baby.
If no
Yes.
other pregnant moms come, so it's going to be literally the baby of this movement, for us to celebrate.
Yes.
And we
Yes,
want to
that's
celebrate
right.
with you. Um, and um, and Lucy is saying beautiful explanation, Rosa, of how she who rises and why your company has that name. Thanks for sharing that. Francis saying, especially with women, we are expected to be the giver, and if you don't, you are being selfish. Um,
Yeah.
uh, and self care and self love. Yes, and Lucy,
Yes.
I'm not sweet, I genuinely mean it. I keep these interviews very raw because I also want to express without any apprehensions, any ego, or any kind of
Yeah.
trying to say something to. But I do feel that Debbie and Lucy have been just just awesome, like everybody else, but they've been specially. So I totally
Yes.
appreciate them.
Yeah.
So she who rises. What's the most beautiful experience that you've had? Something that keeps you going with She Who Rises, Rosa. What makes you keep going
Uh,
with She Who Rises?
Funny that you say that because last year, this in 2020, like after the pandemic started and everything, at at the end of the year, like in the fall, probably September of last year, I started reaching out to some of the women that I knew around me, family members and people that I knew had also were online, and had their own accounts and maybe starting their businesses. So I just said, hey, my account has grown this much. I would love to have you and interview you. So I was doing also interviews
Right.
with women, with moms
Wow.
and women that were close to me. So if you go there to the account to She Who Rises and you go back a little bit, you'll see that I did like over almost like 30 something interviews, live interviews, similar to, similar to this. And it was just me kind of like this, like asking them about their story.
Right.
So like I love what you're doing, and doing that just like, it helped me, like hearing their stories
Yes.
helped me heal, helped my confidence, and like all of the things, and
Right.
learning how to do things right. And not being afraid to speak, and not be afraid to like tell your story. And I would always like call them and say, hey, because on Instagram you go on your phone, right? So it's like, just I would say, hey, just make believe that you are FaceTiming your friend, and
Right.
then we'll go live, and there's other people that are watching, but we're just having a conversation.
Right.
And
Right.
then a lot of them talked about how, they were some a big group of them were like moms that had lost babies, or that had miscarriages.
Same. Same.
And yeah, and those stories can, like I went through something like that. So I was like connected to that, to their stories, and
Yes.
connected to their pain. And I was able to kind of like heal through them telling me the things that they went through, and the way that they have healed.
Right.
So, that was a great, I was doing it like every week, sometimes twice a week.
Right.
And that was a really great experience. And every person that I interviewed is now still like really close, like we're still like close, and we talk, and we still interact. So I think that was one of the best moments that I've had,
Yeah,
with
you feel supported. You feel like, for me, um, I am almost at a verge of like the spiritual breakthroughs that are happening, and I am avoiding it. Absolutely don't want it, because it's like coming like a wave. I don't know. If you see me from the first day of the interview, and if you see my face right now, you will see something is going on, and I'm just like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it, but I have to, because it's taking me deeper, and it's taking me further. It's taking me ahead. And even
yes.
today, I went to my husband. I was like, okay, 73 are done. Two more, 75. I'm going back. I don't want to anymore come back. I don't want to. He's like, I'm not letting you do that. You've come very far. I was like, I don't think
Yeah.
I can do it.
You are not gonna
Because
stop.
it's scaring me. It's, of course, it's scaring me as well, because I'm just like, yes, I'm marching ahead with this confidence and mother pulse and this and that, and
Yes.
going ahead with saying, oh, I'm resolving this, I'm finding this, I'm loving you, I'm doing this. And then I sit with myself sometimes, and I'm like, oh gosh, where have I put myself right there? This is so gorgeous that I can't take it. The light is so bright that, like, I'm literally like being pulled in it, but I want to go back. And I was telling my husband,
Yes.
now this time I'm not, and I've done this many times, Rosa, and I'm confessing it. So many times I was led to a place where I was meant to be, to open up, to do things, to since I'm a kid, and I always never believed in it. This is the first time I'm like, of course I've had my achievements. I've headed a poetry movement. I've had breakthroughs with health movement. I've headed a printing
Yeah.
unit, 20 years of photography. um, like, I've done many things in life, but just before I knew, now I can't take it anymore, because there's going to be big bright light coming and focusing right on me. I turned back. I'm like, I can't take it.
Yeah.
First time I'm saying, okay, this time I'm going till the end, because this is something
Yes.
else, and it's taking courage. It's taking, and I'm really not saying that like, I'm not implying I'm tired, but I'm very scared of the light. And on the
Yeah.
100th, I keep
Yeah.
saying this. I don't know whether it happens on the 100th interview or it happens after 100th interview, but something is waiting to happen. So I have to
Yes.
go to 100 and touch that thing and say,
Yeah.
okay, do it. Cough, cold, fever, breastfeeding, whatever it takes, we'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there. And that's how I feel very supportive. So I understand what you're saying. I understand
Yeah.
how much it heals you, envelops you, gives you that light, and it brings the belief back, which very casually all of us say, today's world nobody cares. This online world
Yeah.
is all fake. the social media, nothing is real. This is all done for money. And let me tell you this today, that the support I have not, like, neither anybody has asked me, and neither have I offered anybody to say, may I pay you something. I have my five
Yeah.
pillars who love me and love this movement and the mothers, and giving their extra time to support them across different time zones. I have my editors who are like, they just call me, they're like, you'll be fine, it's okay, you go off to sleep. And they've
Yeah.
taken charge, and I don't even have to look at them and say, what are you doing? Do I need to interfere? I have my cheerleaders who are cheering
Yes.
for me. I have mothers. So, that's what you are talking about. The envelope that happens and the belief that
Yes.
exists and things will fall for you is what you have tried to say through She Who Rises. And this is what
Yes.
I'm saying. And that's why probably we can laugh together because, uh,
Yes. No, I absolutely, I believe that. And, I think that we, by being like by being ourselves and by being our most authentic selves is how we attract our people.
right,
And I've learned that along the way. And, I'm able to speak to you the way that I'm speaking to you now because I did those interviews. Like I've gotten to this place where I can sit down with someone, and I was very, very shy before, before I started She Who Rises. I was like, for camera wise, I would, like sit down and stumble with my words and just like feel super, super awkward with like showing up,
right.
that it was just like so uncomfortable, like nails on a chalkboard
Oh, yes.
type of thing.
I
So
see your reels.
it,
I see your TikToks. I don't know what all you are doing. You're sneezing, you're acting, you're doing all sorts of great stuff. There was one TikTok in which I found it so funny because I think like Lucia just told me about you, and I like went onto your Facebook, and then I saw this
yes.
crying. I'm like, what's she doing? Why is she crying?
Oh
Couldn't
yeah.
see on the face. And then that TikTok was about, was it TikTok or Reel? I don't know, but it was about the
Reels,
fact
yeah, yeah.
that just before going live, even if you're feeling horrible,
Oh right.
or before the reel, you have to like you're like you cry and then suddenly you start laughing and smiling. And
Yes.
that's the reality. That's the reality because for
Yeah.
showing up like on a humorous way, that's the reality because many of us can't stop ourselves from still, like, Debbie had mentioned in one of the interviews that I have found like couples fighting because it was all about self-portrait and selfies, right? So she's like,
Yeah.
I've seen these couples fighting, and after 2 seconds, just taking a picture and then going back to fighting. So like even that happens, and you can use that
Yes.
in your reel because in that selfie mode, they know that they need to go live or they're together in a interview together, so they'll just go live, they'll smile, and then they start again making faces.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
on a serious note, you still need to show up in life no matter what's happening. So you still need
Yeah.
to show up. So this is
Yes.
beautiful.
No.
This is beautiful. And you're a very high
Yeah.
spirited person. I can feel that for sure. So are you scared of
Yeah.
the self portrait now that we are coming in the book to declare your story, Rosa? And I would
Yeah.
love your story to be when you're pregnant. So you will have to
Yes.
do it with your two boys because we want one pregnant mom in the book for sure.
Right.
Uh,
Yes, that's right. And
and
my belly is very, very big. You can see it.
yes,
Let's see. If I can
your
show
belly
my
is not big.
belly.
Your baby is fully ready to
So,
come out.
see.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to. I mean, it's so beautiful that in this book we also deliver a baby when this book process is happening, and we all are there
Yes.
to celebrate it with you. Almost 100 moms will celebrate that with you when the baby comes this time. So
Yes, and
for that,
those, that's the best part, that we, like that we can connect from all over the world and all different types of time zones.
yes. So are you worried now what Rosa's story is going to be still after doing so much work of She Who Rises? I want to know that because you will have to come up with your story very soon in the book. And I'm going to have a workshop
Yes.
just after this about that because many mothers thought it was just an interview. It was smiling, laughing together, and then like, oops, Shikha actually wanted us to do a picture of us, which they
Yes.
knew it, but it hit them when they actually had to do it with the camera. That
Yeah.
there's some self
Yeah.
work needed there before
Yeah.
kids.
And I think I've gotten comfortable with that in I think that the reason why I've gotten comfortable with seeing myself in camera and like speaking to other people in camera is because I have allowed like I have a I had oh I have a power, right? I
Yeah,
have a light. I have a gift. I have all these things and I never really wanted to show them or wanted to realize that I had them for some reason, right? So it was just like I always thought that I had to um minimize myself in order to fit in and in order to not disturb or disrupt anybody else. So
there's so much
I
I mean, unbelievable, I so relate to what you just said.
I always would be self-spoken. I would keep my voice down. I would do show up to places and not speak up because I thought I was doing everybody else a favor, you know, by not speaking up.
Yeah.
Okay. And I get goosebumps because I feel like I held on to that for so long, that belief. And that was a lie, you know, like in order for me to do other people a favor, in order for me to help others,
Yeah.
I have to let all of that out. I have to let my, like allow my power, my voice to project my voice to show my real self and show my powerful self
Right.
no matter who is around.
Right.
And maybe it's the reason why I'm speaking up is because that person needed to hear this. So I kind of like broke through. I came out of my shell and became comfortable with that because I realized that there's people that need what I have and what I have to offer and need to hear my words and need
Right.
to feel my power and need to see my light shine so that they can also do the same thing. Like let their light shine, allow themselves to break through, break out of that shell, and then also and then pass that on, just
Right.
like you're doing. So I feel like that's really important, feeling comfortable with seeing your power and feeling comfortable with allowing it to come out and to shine through, no matter how it comes out.
You know what? I also feel, Rosa, that I know that I can speak. I have an interview to start, a workshop to start. But what I also feel that, again, when we say that you're allowed to speak up and you're allowed to, say whatever you feel like,
Yeah.
two, three things come to my mind with that. Is that sometimes we feel when we are very angry and we can't speak, we give this a very convenient thing and say we should speak up. Why should I keep quiet about it? And we go
Yeah.
and go on. But when we
Yeah.
need to speak up to help somebody, we need to speak up to go and say, hey, you're going in the wrong direction and other things. Then we stop ourselves.
Yes.
Say, maybe we're interfering too much in their life.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
we're not good. And actually, it should be the opposite, just to create a little calmer environment. Maybe because anger is something I think one should not speak in anger, because that's the time we need to collect ourselves back and say, we just angry.
Yes.
That's why we're speaking what we're speaking. And
Yes.
vice versa, when we need to speak up and somebody jumping off the well and say, listen, you're jumping off the well,
Yes.
and not say that, and I have sometimes something happened and somebody said, um, when, like, I don't know, it where, like, was it in this or was it in my previous thing? I was talking somewhere and say, well, if somebody comes in this group and asks for help, I'm available. When you write that sentence, so I was just like,
Yeah.
nobody's coming to ask for help. When you see somebody needs help,
And you
offer
reach
help.
out.
Offer help.
Yes.
They will reject it, because they might reject it in whatever state they are in. We feel we shouldn't offer, and a lot of
Yes.
times, I'm very famous for it. I must say this. That and like they've been very funny. Okay, I must tell this funny incident because I can't stop even if we are 7 minutes before the workshop. It's a very funny incident. I feel for children. I feel like if somebody is getting bullied, I have to speak up. I just can't keep myself. So I was in a park
Yes.
And like, of course, my friends, they know that Shikha is not going to keep quiet. She is going to stand up and go and speak. And then
Yes.
there was this man who was like talking to this child very rudely, and they've just come out of COVID, and I was feeling that they're in open park, they all enjoy, and this boy was taking this, must be a 8, 10-year-old boy, and this man was not speaking to him nicely, and he said, "Go away from here, and I'm warning you," and this and that, and step back. And that boy was like tongue lashing back at him, but he was feeling his power, and I could see this boy is trying to stand up for himself and say that, "Listen, I'm not listening to you." And then this man
Yes.
was going and talking to other kids nicely and turning around and showing him eyes, that step back, go back, whatever. Of course,
Mhm.
I watched with my little baby who was like in 8 months, 9 months, and like he was right next to me while talking. He was doing something, and I just like started saying that, "Stop it! Like, you're just ruining the whole park, the environment, by bullying this boy. It's not done." And I'm standing with this boy, and I just like went on and
Yeah, you're
I
your
said,
mother
"Stop
instinct.
it!" Yeah, I said, "Just stop it. Whatever you are doing, stop it." Then
Yes.
my husband, like, he was pretty far, and he saw, okay, my wife is in the charge mode right now, and she goes and walks up. And I go back with my friends, and all my friends were teasing me. We knew it. Shikha will be like the one who will step up and say something. And they're like,
Yes.
of course, they made fun of me for all this. The angry Shikha is out and all that. So I'm like, I couldn't take it. I said, I couldn't take it. Then my husband is like
Yeah.
talking, politely to this guy. Turns out to be he's my husband's colleague in office, and so, and
Okay.
he was about to be called for dinner. So I was like, oh God, like, here I have
You're like,
seen. And
yeah.
turned out to be he was talking to his son who was creating a lot of ruckus. So he was telling his son to go back. So that was his son, and not
Yeah.
a teacher or a teacher of some sports. And I tried to
Yeah.
pretend that everything is okay. Like, even if, so what, if I scolded a father trying to bully his own
Trying
child,
to
it's still not done. So I was just standing
yes.
up for myself saying, it's still not done, right? It's still not done.
Yeah.
So we stopped
Yeah.
ourselves from saying it, and I came back, and Rohit's like, sorry, I was just trying to apologize, Shikha, saying that, he's my colleague and I go to office with him. And I had not met him, because COVID time,
Yeah.
right?
So
And
he felt bad
so
afterwards.
I said, did you tell him I'm your wife? I hope you didn't say that. So he's like, no, I told him that she's like this only little crackpot, so it's okay. Of course, he didn't, but he's like, she's a little crackpot. Please forgive it. And so that it turned out to be that the boy was really creating a lot of problem for other children, and he was trying to
Yeah.
actually do the opposite. So this is like a funny
So
instance, and many such things have happened like that with me.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't stop me from still saying, people say, last time you remember you did this, and I'm like, I don't care. If I think somebody needs help, whether it's an animal or a
I'm
child,
gonna go with it. Yeah.
I will go for it. I will go for it.
And
That's what it is.
yeah, and you know what? I used to always be very defensive and speak up for my friends, but
Right,
I never would do it for myself.
right,
So and I think awareness is really key when it comes to that, because you have to know that sometimes people are just projecting, like the things that they are going through. Maybe they're having a bad day, or maybe he already told them 100 times what, like, so it is good to be aware, and also to be aware of your own, because of your own feelings, because sometimes you become the toxic person and you just like let it out on other people. So having that awareness, I think, is key when speaking up,
right.
because there could be either way.
Yeah,
Sometimes
absolutely.
it's
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
yes,
When
speak
we're
up.
angry, maybe we need to keep quiet, but when we see we need to reach out for help. And jokes apart, I have been very proud of a lot of time when I stepped in, because I have saved some people from suicide. I've saved some kids from like depression. I have figured out stories. I've stepped up and said I'm there at a very young age as well. So many many things I'm very proud of. And when they called me back today from somebody who's like 15 years younger than me, who were almost like about to commit suicide, and have called me many times that I'm committing suicide, I'm like, yeah, go ahead, commit suicide. I think it's a great thing to do. So try to purposely do the break away from that thing. I've done things like that, and I
Yes.
feel that in spite of the fact that I was scared, but I did not stop myself from, and that was my learning. But you're right,
Yeah.
I've never done it for myself. I've never done it for
Right.
myself because I've always felt that I can figure it out. And that's what I was telling you
Yes.
about the receiving bit,
The
which I'm learning
receiving.
still. That I'm like, yes,
Exactly.
I need help. yes, it's okay, it's all right.
Yes.
I don't have to take the charge to always say that I need to fix it, even if I'm not
Yes.
fixing myself. So
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful. I can talk to you as usual. I can talk to so many mothers, but as lovely talking to you. What is Rosa's dream? Because then I am also making a lot of dreams come true in the workshop just in 3 4 minutes from now. What's Rosa's
Yes.
dream?
Oh, to help as many women as I can to realize their dreams. So, the things that I've done and the things that I've learned, I think over the past few years online and with my business, I want to be able to make that a reality also for others, and to be able to hold their hand and support them. And like you said, the receiver in me, I just love giving, and I love being able to help women go, like realize their own dreams. So that is very fulfilling to me, whether or not, like I get paid for it. It's just like a thing that I would do for free for the rest of my life.
That
It
itself
is
needs to
just,
change. Like we need to be okay with trying to even charge for helping, right? That's another
yeah,
struggle that
exactly.
that's another
Exactly.
struggle that I do with, and I'm like, fine, no, 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 it's okay, it's fine. So then it comes, and I'm the first one to go and pay when somebody says, I'm going to do it for me. I'm like, no, not
Yeah, you're the one.
you
Same,
should be paid for this. You are so
same.
amazing,
Yes,
and I
same for me. I'm like,
what
charge me more.
yeah, yeah,
charge,
oh my God,
charge me more.
yeah, I'm just like you. What month are you born in, Rosa? Let me.
I'm August 23rd. I'm a Virgo.
I'm
So,
ready. Well,
yes,
I'm inviting you in the workshop because you're already a mom, a 73rd mom. You're like,
yes,
but it's going to be, you're expecting as well. You have kids to take care of. It's going to be recorded so you can
yes.
see later, but must see that because I'm taking charge again and making sure today some stories come out, some ideas come out, some pictures get done in the workshop. So I'm prepared, excited about it. I shall go on to
Yes,
my moms who are going to join me in the workshop, but I totally love this. And I'm telling you, I came from a mall all tired, like being pulled, don't take me, I want to be playing here. And I'm like, no, I need to go back home. There is Rosa, there is moms coming.
there's all of these things. Yeah, yes, no, but I
Charge.
really appreciate you, having the energy and for
No, I got
same
it from you.
here.
Right now, I got it from you. I didn't. I just
Right,
confessed that,
we connected.
yes. And I just confessed I'm reaching 75 and it's scaring me. And I keep telling myself, no, the 76th
No,
mom will come.
you,
There will be the 100. There
yes,
will be the 99. The book will be out. Don't turn back. So lots of things
yes,
happening. Lots of good luck. And I'm waiting for your picture. We definitely want your baby who's like all ready to come.
yes,
And lots of love to you. And we will celebrate whenever you have, because I'm sure you are a person who builds the community. You will get to know
yes,
100 moms as well. And
yes,
I think you will bring, I can see it that you will pull a lot of love as well. So good luck,
yes.
Rosa.
I love
Good
that.
luck. And
Thank you so much. I
yeah, so many
appreciate
moms
you.
want this book never shortage. Yes, yes, yes. I know
Yes.
there is another one who has low shortage of love, and she speaks up also very carefree. So Debbie is there as well for all her love. Thank you, Francis.
Yes.
Thank you,
All right.
Lucy. Thank you, Debbie. And let's go to the workshop. You're most welcome. I
All
keep
right.
telling you the Zoom link. If you want to put your camera off and listen, it's okay. Otherwise, there'll be a replay for you.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Sheik. I really appreciate
Bye
this.
bye. Bye
Have
bye.
a good day. Bye.